From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, March 15th, 2021. We'll start with a satellite picture here. We'll watch the sun come up across North America. The visible satellite picture, we've got quite the well-defined storm system across the central United States. A little bit south there, you see the classic comma shape. We've got a winter storm and blizzard-like conditions on the north side of that, and then on the south side we've had severe weather at times across parts of the southern plains, but talking a lot about the central United States because it continues to be quite quiet across the prairie provinces. Check in with the radar here across the prairie, not that much going on, and that's going to continue to be the case other than a quick burst of some snow across maybe southeastern Saskatchewan into south central portions of Manitoba as we get into Tuesday. Here's a look at that. We'll take a look at the NAM model. Again, here's the snow right now across portions of the northern plains in the northern U.S. We're going to get a little narrow band here to kind of get some upper level motion there, just kind of squeeze out some light snow as we get into, again, this is 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning across the prairie. We'll just go ahead and, didn't mean to jump ahead there. Let's go ahead and back up here to Tuesday morning and just take one more look at that. So heading into the evening here Monday, this is 7 p.m. This is now midnight, maybe some of that light precipitation, maybe a light wintry mix as it gets going here around midnight to 3 a.m. Again, a very narrow band here, so only a few people are going to be picking up on the precipitation here. Again, a very concentrated area. So here's 7 a.m. on Tuesday. This is now getting into around noon on Tuesday, and then as we get into the evening hours, that starts to taper off. And then as we head through the rest of the middle part of the week, at least here, going to continue to keep things quiet. This is now, we've gone through Wednesday. This is Wednesday night. Take it all the way into Thursday. This is Thursday morning. Some sunshine across the prairie here, just continuing to be very quiet. Getting into Thursday evening now, keeping things on the quiet side across the prairie. So total snow from the NAM as we go through, this is through 7 p.m. 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 18th. But of course, the only snow that you saw there over the next 4 days is this little band here that comes down on Tuesday. So total snow here, a narrow area that could pick up anywhere from a trace to maybe 5 centimeters, maybe a couple more in higher spots if we really get a focused area. But if anyone gets more than 5 centimeters, it's going to be a very small area. We can take a look at the European model. Same thing through Thursday evening, a trace to maybe 5 centimeters of snow and a narrow band here across portions of southeastern Saskatchewan into south central portions of Manitoba. And as we take the European model out to the next 10 days, all the way through Thursday, March 25th, we're really looking at not much more than this little band of snow that comes down on Tuesday. Otherwise, looking dry across the prairie. So what's going on? We'll take a look at the jet stream. Again, we continue to see storm systems making their way across portions of the United States with split flow, keeping us dry across the prairie. So what that looks like, we have a great example over the next several days. Let me jump back here and let's just let this play over the next 24 to 48 hours. But you see the jet stream here coming in across the Pacific. We've got the southern branch, and we've got the northern storm track really going off to the north of the prairie across northern Canada here up toward the Arctic. And so when you're in the middle here, you've got the jet stream kind of splitting around us. You're going to end up dry here across the prairie or wherever you end up with a jet stream set up like that. So as long as this persists, as long as we see these storm systems kind of ducking off to the south here across portions of the southwest United States, ejecting into the southern plains, and then on the north side, seeing much of that moisture being wrung out across British Columbia and then across northern Canada, and that's simply just going to keep things quiet across the Canadian prairie. So we'll look at the precipitation forecast. And I will say that I've got confidence on a dry work week here, other than the Tuesday snow that you're seeing right here. But as we get into the weekend, lower confidence. I think there's some opportunities there for maybe some light precipitation. But let's take a look here. We go through Tuesday, there's your snow. Here's Wednesday. Here's Thursday. Take it into Friday. Excuse me. And now we get into Saturday. Now we're starting to see some activity coming in across portions of the prairie, but really low confidence on the storm track on some of these players here. So we've got a system here being advertised going off to the north. The GFS has some of this activity coming across the prairie with, again, relatively light precipitation, but maybe unreliably, or I can say it's reliably quiet through Friday, but beyond that, can't really promise it. I don't think we shift to a real active pattern across the prairie. It's simply just, not a background state that's going to favor the prairies as being the active region across North America. But, we'll continue to watch things as we head through the end of March into early April. So one more time, just verbatim, the 10-day precipitation type forecast from the European model. I was kind of shuffling back and forth as I talked to you. Here we go, Monday, March 15th. Into Tuesday, here's your light snow, southeast Saskatchewan, south central Manitoba. That tapers off as we get into Tuesday night. Quiet then, probably a lot of sunshine as we head through the end of the week. Getting into Thursday, this is Friday. Now Saturday, the 20th of March, this is where I can't really say for sure what's going to be happening. Some opportunities for light precipitation maybe. Here's maybe some showers across the same region here, southeast Saskatchewan, getting into south central Manitoba on Saturday night, maybe. And then we get into here Monday, Tuesday next week. Some potentially, more active weather as we get into the week 2 time frame. But so here first, next 5 days, this is what I was saying, reliably quiet here, other than your snow here across south central Manitoba, southeast Saskatchewan. You got the European model on the left, the GFS on the right. That's the next 5 days through Friday evening. This is from the European ensemble. The next 15 days, your precipitation anomaly. Again, keeping things active across the central United States, keeping things active across coastal portions of British Columbia, and then off to the north of the Prairie. But, I mentioned as we get into the weekend, into next week, potentially some opportunities for, at least light precip across the Canadian Prairie. But when we look at things as an aggregate here with the ensemble, from our reliable European ensemble model, keeping things drier than average over the next 15 days as we head through, March 30th. Now, temperatures, keeping things mild. We lose kind of the really anomalously warm signal as we get into days 10 to 15 on the right, but of course that's to be expected. You get that far out. Generally speaking, split flow across the region, that's going to be mild and quiet. So that is the other half of the forecast here that kind of accompanies the quiet precipitation forecast is no real strong signals or no real strong evidence that we're going to be looking at any real potent shot of cold air, at least over the next 15 days as we head through, the last 2 weeks of March. So we'll look at the 10-day high and low temperature forecast from a couple of our cities here across the Prairie provinces. Again, keeping things generally mild. Calgary bouncing around between 8 to 14 degrees for your high temperatures. Medicine Hat, you'll touch 16 here Thursday and Friday likely. Saskatoon getting into the upper single digits, around 10 degrees as we head through the weekend into next week. Similar look here in Regina, and then we'll finish with Winnipeg. You warm on up into the weekend. Temperatures touching maybe the lower teens as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But overall, keeping things relatively mild over the next 10 days.